Everybody, I'm back again. If you saw my first video, you'll see I made a few improvements. Adjusted my lighting, got a little backdrop, sitting a little taller. I took a little bit of advice from some friends who are a little bit better at this than I am. So today I want to talk a little bit about some of the braces and splints and tools and things that I use when it comes to dealing with the problems that EDS poses. I explained a little bit in my last video about how we have a lot of pain and subluxations and dislocations, and sometimes we just can't do things. Sometimes we can, but we need a little help. We need to support our joints. So I'm going to start with my hands. So today I have on both my thumb and wrist braces, and these are my favorite ones. I have other ones, and I have on most of my ring splints. So let me explain what they do. As far as my wrists and thumb splints go, you know, this thumb is dislocated in two different areas. You can kind of see how it's curved. It's dislocated down here. It cannot be fixed. So I have a ring splint for that, which is really cute and really comfortable, and it just looks like this. It takes a little getting used to because this digs in a little bit and you can't really bend your thumb. The problem with this ring splint is that it doesn't also help my wrist. And so I use both. Hey, there's my dog. She's one of my tips. Pet her, and automatically feel better. Anyway, that's my thumb splint. I also have a spiral one for this thumb that I don't wear very often, and I don't have it in here with me, and I don't know why. I must have left it somewhere else. The rest of these splints keep my fingers from hyperextending. So here's a before, and you can kind of see how my fingers are. And I'm going to take the splints off and kind of give you a little demonstration of what happens afterwards. So now you can see, look at my pinkies. They're curving over something terrible. You can see my little bunny slopes. I showed these to you last time. And the splints aren't just to keep them in place because it's better for them. It also keeps them from hurting. Your muscles get really tired trying to hold up the joint when the tendon is failing. And so sometimes they just hurt so much that I just have to wear them. And they are kind of cute, and people comment on them. And it's a chance for me to explain what EDS is, since a lot of people have never heard of it. So those are my splints. Those are my ring splints. I get them from a shop on Etsy, actually, called Love the Bugs. He does amazing work. He is so fair with his prices. He works with me to get it right. Sometimes I have to send him back for a little adjustment. He sent me free ones when he's tried out new designs, and I really love him. His name is Tommy Shannon. Strummer Go. So those are my splints, and to keep them organized, because when you take them off, some of them, like these two, you know, they look the same, and I've been known to put them on the wrong fingers. So I have a little box here called Dawn's Ring Splints, and when you open it up, I labeled each one for which ring goes in which compartment, because EDS does not just affect your body, it affects your mind, and sometimes we're very fuzzy and we forget things and we lose things, and I guess everybody does that. We just kind of do it a little worse sometimes. So that's my little ring splint hack. As far as tools that I use, these tools are great for anybody older or who had any kind of surgery. In fact, I got some of these from after my knee replacements, my hip replacement surgeries. So this one I love. This is the very long, metal, strong shoehorn. I tend to keep my sneakers tied. It's hard for me to bend down, pull up the tongue, make the adjustment, tie them. It just hurts. It hurts my fingers. It hurts my hips. So I keep my sneakers loosely tied. And then I just use this so that I don't ruin the back of them. Otherwise, you know, here's my slipper I can show you. You know, you try to put a shoe on and you're either scrunching the back this way or scrunching it this way. And let's be realistic. Shoes and sneakers are expensive. So I want to take good care of them. This long shoehorn is the way to go because I can do it sitting or standing and I don't have to bend very far. So I love this, and it's metal, so it's nice and sturdy. I also have what I call the sock putter on her, which is a long name for a sock aid. This thing is fantastic. You slide the sock on. Let me show you with one of my arm. We'll get to this hack in a minute. But if, let's say that was a sock, you just slide it on, This would be the toe, so it would be closed, right? You put it on the floor, you slide your foot in it, and you use your hands and you slide it up, and look at that. Isn't that amazing? I love this thing. When I first got it after my first knee replacement surgery, I thought this was the best invention ever. The straps are long, so you can sit or stand, and it's just a nice sturdy piece that isn't going to break or wear out, and perfect for when you've got to get your socks on. It works for the little no-show socks, the ankle socks, knee socks. Those you might have to make an adjustment in, but it's a great tool, one of my favorites. Actually bought one for my dad, who is older and has trouble with his knees too. This is a unique little tool. So it doesn't really have a name. I think it's just like a multi-purpose tool. But let me show you how it works for me. So remember I put that sock on before. I'm going to demonstrate on my arm because I can't really see my feet with this camera. So let's say this is my foot, got my sock on. Now I want to take it off. I've been known to use the fingers of my other foot and slide it down. What happens when I do that is that I end up with cramps. I end up cramping my toes and my foot, and it's very painful. What you do is you take this little tool, and you see this piece right here? So you would slide it on the top of the sock, inside, like this, and push down. And oh, look at that. The sock comes off. Isn't that great? It's also great if you are, say, trying to put on your underwear and it falls on the floor. You can kind of scoop it up with this little hook. And then I just use this end, and I have these tools hanging on the side of one of my dressers. So another great little tool. And every household, whether you have a handicap, a disability or not, should have a reacher grabber. Excellent for when you drop things and you can't bend down, or when you need to reach up. If I try to stretch to reach like something on a higher cabinet, I could hurt my elbow, my shoulder. I could hurt my elbow. I could hurt my hands. If I try to step on a step stool, because I'm very klutzy, I can fall off, but I can also hurt my hips and my knees just getting up and down it. So reacher grabber is perfect. It's got a little magnetic thing. So if you're putting something together and you drop a metal screw, you know, this is magnetic to pick it up with. So again, a great tool, not just for the disabled or handicapped, but for everybody. It's perfect. So those are my favorite tools. Now, as far as my braces go, you know, I have these, and these are my favorites. I got them from a hand specialist. Great for arthritis. They keep your hands warm. They're neoprene. They're soft. They're washable. One of mine finally wore out, and I was able to get a new one on Amazon for about $2 less than what I paid for the doctor, so it wasn't too bad. But let me show you some of my other ones. Because your hands can get tired, sorry about that, because your hands can get tired of having the same thing on, and because I need to wear stuff at night and these need to get dirty, I've got a few others. I have a couple of these. This is just your basic Rite Aid brace. It goes on either hand. I'll show you this hand. Goes on like this, and just Velcros in a couple different places. You can loosen it, tighten it. And it's a nice little break from the neoprene because it's a little looser, and again, it's washable, and you can put it on either hand. These are right and left. These are unilateral, I guess the word would be. So I have that one. I have this, which is just for the wrist. Does not help my thumbs at all, so I really don't use it anymore. I used to. What I don't like about these, if I can show you, I haven't worn this in a long time, is because our hands, let me show you over here, you know, our hands kind of bump out right here, right? So this has a hard plastic, it's molded, shape to compensate for that. But then when you're putting your hand down, you're constantly hitting it. I just don't like it. I don't find it comfortable. But if my wrist is really bad and my thumb is doing okay, this is a good option. But like I said, I don't use it very often. It kind of just sits in my basket. I did buy a pair of these. Let me see if I can show them to you. I hate them. I have to be honest with you. I hate them. Let me show you why. I got them off of Amazon. I thought it'd be a nice difference because I wouldn't have so much here covering my hand. But when you put them on, everything is adjustable, which is great. This is hard as a rock. And my thumb is just, it's kind of, I don't know, this is just too long. Maybe I need a longer thumb or something. But I really just, it's not comfortable. It's nice to have this open so you're not getting as sweaty, but I just hate the stiffness of this. For somebody else, maybe it'd be great. Again, I got them off of Amazon. I think I paid $20 for the set. It wasn't too bad. I'll probably either give them to somebody or maybe I'll sell them one day. Now, I do like to spend time in the water. I used to like to swim until I hurt my shoulder, but I still like to spend time in the therapy pool where it's nice and warm. And so this is the one that I use. I should get another one, but these are expensive. I got this from a doctor. Actually, it was for this hand. When I first dislocated this thumb and I went to the doctor, he gave me this. It's by Push. It's hard plastic. It's so uncomfortable. I've tried wearing little like fingerless gloves underneath it, but it just pushes in. I don't like it. But it is great in the water because it's hard plastic. The chlorine and the salt don't have as much of a wearing effect as they do on some of these neoprene braces. So this is the one that I wear. I would have one for this hand, but these are $80 and I just can't spend $80 on this little tiny splint. I think it's just ridiculous. My insurance paid for the first one, but it won't pay for another one. So those are my hand ones. Thankfully, I don't have a lot of other areas except for my ankle. My right ankle is really pretty bad. My left one's not much better. This is by Bauer Find, this brace, and it slides on like this. I'm going to show you this way, and this wraps around. It's so comfortable. It keeps I'm really doing a terrible job displaying this, and I'm so sorry, but here you go. Does that help? I'll go this side. There we go. It's got the Velcro. It's easily washable. It's easy to get on and off, and it gives you a nice support. So when my ankle is really bad, I find especially at night when I lay down, for some reason they hurt, and I will get up and put this on. At some point, I have to get another one. They are side specific. This is a right one. I'm gonna have to get a left one. This was like $90. So it's just, these braces are just so expensive. And last but not least, in my basket, and I keep talking about my basket, so here's my basket, just so you can see what I'm talking about, are these. These came from a friend of mine. Her name is Heather. Hey, Heather, because I know you're going to watch this video. And these are called baby legs. These are actually leg warmers for babies. But what she found, so she shared a pair with me, is that when our hands are having, when our wrists and hands are having a really bad day, if we can keep this area warmed up, it actually helps. And sometimes you don't want to put a sweater on because it's just a little too bulky. So what I do is I just slide these on. It's like wearing a sleeve. They're actually kind of pretty too, don't you think? I mean, if I had the right, clothing on to match it. A little Dr. Seuss maybe, but it's cute. So I'll just slide these on. I've got 2 of them. Doesn't really matter which way you put them on. And again, they're by Baby Legs. You can get them online. And they fit great. And somehow keeping my forearms warm really help the wrists and the fingers. And I can even wear them over or under my wrist braces. So, yay, that's a plus. Those are kind of the tools that I have on an everyday basis that I use. Actually, my number one, I can't show it to you because it's a little bit too big, but my number one favorite tool for anybody with EDS or anybody with severe arthritis is, drumroll, my electric blanket. Oh, I love my electric blanket. I have a full-size one on my bed, and it's neat because it's 2 zones. So my husband doesn't need to have his zone on for me to have my zone on, and it keeps me so warm. And I have 2, one in my living room that's on my recliner, and one that I take with me when I go places, especially the Sunday meeting, and I sit where there's a plug and I plug it in. Because when you don't move a lot, your legs tend to get cold. So I bring that one with me to meeting. I plug myself in. It keeps my legs nice and warm, which keeps the level of pain down low. Today it's snowing. I had an appointment. I got up and got dressed and ready to go. I canceled it. Had I not done that, I would still be in bed under my electric blanket because it really does work that well for me. And a lot of EDSers say the same thing. They love their electric blankets. So that's really about it as far as the tools that I use. They're pretty basic. You can get them anywhere. Amazon, grocery store, probably. I'll come back another time. I'll show you my canes. My wheelchair happens to be in the car, so I'm not going to bring that in to show you. But I decorated it. Because you know what? If you got to use this stuff, you want to make it pretty. You know, let's be realistic. Ladies, girls, we like to look pretty. We like to feel pretty. And nothing takes away that prettiness than a cane or a walker or a wheelchair or braces. So I try to make the most of them so that people go, hey, that's really nice, as opposed to, oh, you poor thing. So that's my video for today. A little short. That's good. My second one, hopefully it's better than the first one as far as everything, the lighting and such goes. And I hope to see you guys again. So bye.